in what could prove to be a huge game. As we'll see, the West Virginia Mountaineers taking on the winners of 3 straight, the Arizona State Sun Devils. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. The Sun Devils will boot it away to start the game. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. So the West Virginia Mountaineers offense takes the field to start this game off. And these guys involve everybody in the passing game, and none more prominent than this big fella.
The quarterback knows he's going to be under duress in this game. So who do you look for? The tight end. And there aren't many better than this guy.
No, and just big bodies that you can miss a little bit high, and it really doesn't matter. But over the middle of the field, closer throws, so nice to have a security blanket with a great tight end.
It's been a rough start for these guys, and you look down the schedule in the Big 12, there aren't many soft landing spots.
Well, no doubt about it. This team has had some bad breaks early this year in Big 12 play, but they've got to make good things happen, David. They've got to do a better job of executing offensively, defensively, and on special teams, and it's got to start today.
Yeah, finding a way to make those critical plays. Because, you know, what do you know in the Big 12? There's always going to be a lot of scoring, right? And they've come up short, but I think as you find yourself throughout the season, you got to realize, I got to build those confidence. I got to make those plays. And once you do it once, and maybe it happens today, you start to build that confidence.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Linebackers shuffling around, trying to keep the quarterback from getting a read. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there. The Mountaineers racing to the line in a hurry up. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. He holds it in, and nobody's close. Touchdown, Mountaineers! And once he got loose, it was all over.
Man, how hard is it to defend when you have a weapon like this at running back that can play wide receiver? You can design ways to get the football in his hand. Palmer, once you get it in his hands, he'll do the rest.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and oftentimes those are easier throws for quarterbacks. And these running backs, they're just naturally so good when they have the football out in space. Their vision, their creativity, their ability to make people miss. And this guy showed you right there a difficult guy to stop now if you're this defense moving forward.
And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. So Arizona State's offense has the ball for the first time. This matchup on the outside, Jesse, a big play weapon for the offense, a shutdown corner for the D.
They say big-time players make big plays in big games, so who gets the best of this matchup? That's going to determine the game.
I mean, such a fun check.
And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15.
Man, a lot of coaches talk about starting the drive positive and a first play that can get you going. The QB just kept backing up and going backwards, and that is not the start to the drive they were looking for.
Finds just enough daylight to work his way up to the 19-yard line. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. Trying to get to it. And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line. And the Sun Devils decide to punt it away. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. Slips through the line. And the return man has no place to run, no place to hide, and a place to be tackled. West Virginia has it back, ready to dive in. Jesse looking to take it down the field for back-to-back touchdowns.
I think it's really important for them moving forward, too, to have a lot of balance, right? You want to be able to keep this defense guessing.
Yeah, and you got me searching for answers after that last drive. You stack another drive on top of this, their defense's heads are going to be spinning all over the place.
Well, the quarterback knew he wanted to go to his tight end on that play. He's a big physical target, but it was the hit on the play that forced the incompletion.
And the incompletion brings up a second down. He's looking to throw. He's got his man. All kinds of running room. Touchdown, Mountaineers. He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him.
And these slants are so hard to defend when the ball's thrown like that. The receiver catches it, and he's catching it going so fast. You can tell the defense couldn't quite get the right angles, and he does the rest, uses his speed, gets all the way to the end zone.
And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. And he takes this from inside the 5. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. Arizona State has the ball back, and the offense making its way onto the field. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
And he doesn't find much running room, a short gain on the play. And here comes the offense on second down. Now the play fake. Coming after it. Takes a hit as he fires. That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble.
Well, the defense has been able to get after this guy early and often in this game, and it's affecting his accuracy, and it's affecting this offense's ability to throw the football consistently.
Stands in and takes the hit. And it's intercepted. A turnover for the defense. He was trying to get that return going. Instead, he'll hand it to his offense at the 38.
Sometimes the quarterback puts that zip on it, and you can hear it, and sometimes he uses the lob wedge where it takes a little time to get there. That time, he used the lob wedge, and the defender came in and made the interception. Big play for this defense early.
West Virginia has it, and the offense ready to go to work. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. Grabbed behind the line. It's Donaldson. Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And the Mountaineers will hustle to the line. On second down, wants to throw it. The sure hands. It's Bray. Makes the tackle at the 46, but it's a 15-yard gain to get them into plus territory. Pulls it in. At the 35, he's got room. This defense giving up ground as he's finally knocked down at the 26. The Mountaineers getting set on 1st and 10. He wants to throw. He's got his man across the middle. They stop him just a length or two short of the first, and man, what they can do on second down here. He's looking to throw. And he'll chuck that one away and save the down. Nobody was able to get open. They went up top on 2nd and short. Surely they stick to the ground here on 3rd and inches. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, how about this offense? You think of this offense, you think of throwing the football and top 10 passing in all of college football, but the defense knew something, right? Like you could tell they were going to come out and run the football. They brought out the goal line, brought in some big boys, and really was ready for the run on that play.
It is perfect. And now the lead is extended a little further. After that last field goal drive, they're set to kick it away.
Number 41, set to kick off.
From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Arizona State is going back on offense, and they come out looking for a spark. Boy, they hope this next drive is more productive after throwing a pick last time, Jesse.
Yeah, and the coaches did a good job on the sideline there, just talking to the young quarterback and making sure he's able to turn the page, calm him down, to go out and refocus this drive.
Yeah, and some people do that better than others, but you got to show some trust in him. Maybe get the ground game going, help around him a little bit with this system.
He'll run it again. And he's brought down after a solid gain, and we are done in the first quarter. Guys, that's the end of the quarter, and West Virginia has the lead. They largely dominated this first quarter as indicated by the stats. Just about ready to get things started here in the second. We'll see if they continue to flex that muscle. They've changed ends of the field, now facing third down as they go back to work. They'll try to power their way ahead. He'll make a play on third down. He's got enough for the first as they mark it at the 32. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They'll leave it with him. Fighting off the defender. Finding a way to put that foot in the ground and get it up to the 37-yard line. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. They'll give it to the back. A strong tackle and wrap-up from the junior. When you have a conference as deep and balanced as this Big 12 is, it's important to get off to a quick start in conference play.
Yeah, you're going to be challenged each and every week here in the Big 12 Conference. Since they've expanded, the quality of this conference has gotten so much better. So, David, big challenge here to make sure mentally your mind is right starting the season off today.
Yeah, I mean, to make your dreams come true, it starts one game at a time, the old cliche. But the Big 12, year in...
Looking deep down the right side. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in.
Well, at this juncture in the game, with how the scoreboard looks, no question this offense is going to have to throw to get back in the game, and it's going to be tricky now because the defense is expecting it. You're going to throw into a lot of big zone coverages with everybody's eyes on the quarterback. Not going to be easy.
They've been very good at moving the chains on third down. 2 for 2 on this drive. This time they need 6. Trying to burn this defensive back. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, on defense, they know that this offense is going to try and take shots. So they're going to try and keep their secondary players in a position to make these types of plays. Good job on the back end forcing that incompletion.
So the offense will go for it around midfield. On 4th down, he'll try to toss it. He's going to let it go. And they gambled in their own end, and now they give up really good field position. West Virginia has it back, ready to dive into that playbook.
Man, your goal of a defense is to stop them, is to force punts, and then this is just gravy. Now they go for it on 4th down and medium on their side.
And they couldn't hold off the heat, and he goes down with a sack.
This is a good sign for this defense. The rate they were going, not touching the quarterback, him already having 2 touchdown passes in the first half, this was not going to be a fun football game to watch. Now they're turning the tide a little bit, getting a little bit of pressure, getting a sack.
Dialing up a 2nd down pass play. And that one's incomplete.
One of the things I love about this kid is that he goes to work. He struggled his last game out, completed less than 50% of his throws. So back to the drawing board, back to fundamentals, and you can see that paying dividends in this game. I know he just threw an incompletion, but for the most part, this guy has been spot on.
They play that screen nicely. He tried to find his way to the marker, but it'll be 4th down.
Well, you haven't seen a lot of incompletions from this guy now in his last 2 games out. Completed over 70% of his throws last week. He's doing it again in this game. As a head coach, you got to love the fact that your quarterback is dialed in.
And the return man will have no chance as the ball sails out of bounds.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. So the offense keeps its drive alive thanks to the roughing the punter penalty. Pulls and throws off the RPO. He gets it all the way down to the 5-yard line. A terrific catch and run before he stopped.
And a big key on that throw to the slot receiver, guys, is putting the ball out in front. The location of the throw is what helped that guy get extra yards after the catch.
They'll run it on 1st and goal. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry. And the Mountaineers in the hurry-up. He's back to throw on 2nd down. And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18.
That is just what you want defensively, right? Bend, don't break. They drove down the field a little bit. They got 2nd and goal. Boom. Create that negative play. Now they got 3rd and goal. Now they got to make some decisions. Do they want to be conservative? Do they want to be aggressive? Either way, an advantageous situation now for this defense.
It's still 3rd and goal. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. He snares it in the end zone. Touchdown, West Virginia. No mid-season doldrums for these guys as they push out the lead in Week 6.
Really nice job working the route and getting himself open. He was able to locate the football, snag it out of the air, and this guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
And wait just a second. The official's going to take a second look at this one. And they take another look at the play, but the officials on the field were right, and the play will stand. Ready to try the point after.
Is on for the extra point.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Boys, if it's happening in college football, we've got eyes on it. Check this out. Coastal Carolina has the lead right now, but they haven't been able to separate themselves just yet there on the surf turf in Conway. They're up by a field goal over Southern Miss. We promise to keep you posted on what goes down in this exciting college football matchup.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Arizona State has the ball back and the offense making its way onto the field. They face a pretty tall mountain here, Jesse, down 24, but if they're going to climb it, this is a good time to start.
Sense of urgency's got to be big right here. You just get the feeling at this point of the game, David, they've got to score on this drive. Obviously, their defense needs to get stops, but at this point, offensively, they've got to execute much better.
They got to be super aggressive. Down 24, you're going to need 3 touchdowns, 3 two-point conversions, everything to kind of go your way. So fast and throwing the football.
Referee signals timeout as the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. On 3rd down, going up top. Looking to the big tight end. Nice defensive play to get a hand in there and knock it away.
This offense just has to find a way to find a rhythm here. They're playing at home, and they want this crowd to stay involved and be an asset in the game, but they need to start making plays. They can't keep throwing incompletions this early.
Talk about aggressive. This head coach is keeping the offense on the field inside his own 30. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
It's really early in the game right now, and if it's 4th and short, 4th and medium, maybe I see going for it, certainly. But 4th and long, that's a situation I think you got to punt and just let the game play out. Trust your defense a little bit more.
They'll throw it on 1st down. Unloads to the wideout. He's got it. Gets out of bounds after the big game, but they've got it 1st and goal. This offense has been a juggernaut, and they have a chance to pad their total just before halftime. Pulls it in the end zone. Touchdown, Mountaineers. I don't know exactly what the defensive coverage was, but it certainly wasn't part of the plan to leave him that wide open.
Well, I don't think they know what their defensive coverage was either. How do you leave that big guy open down here in the red zone? You know the quarterback loves the big tight ends in this area. Really poor job by the defense.
Out of the end zone. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Arizona State is going back on offense, and they come out looking for a spark. They find themselves in a pretty deep hole here, but maybe a chance to grab a little momentum and regroup at halftime.
Yeah, a big chance. Like this is an opportunity. This is the biggest opportunity in front of them in the game right now. You got to get some points on the board. You got to create something positive, Jesse. There hasn't been a whole lot to be positive about in the first half.
If I'm playing quarterback, I'm locating my go-to guy at receiver. Who can I count on one-on-one to go and make me a play? Maybe even one-on-two. Who can go up, catch the ball, get us some yards, and get us some points?
Fires to the wideout. Can't make the grab. Quarterback just missed him a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened. He didn't look open as it is, and the QB's trying to make a play, trying to force the ball, but at least he threw it where his guy could catch it or nobody could catch it.
In just inside their own 20, they need to convert on 3rd and short. Moving out of the pocket. Keeps it and gets the first down. And excellent vision to find running room there and make a really good pickup before the defense put a stop to it.
You can tell this is a pass play. He has his eyes down the field. He's looking to throw the football. But how nice is it when you got a guy like this that can scramble and go get you a first down? Just really hard to stop from a defensive perspective.
Got to give the defense a lot of credit, man, because they've come into this hostile environment and they've quieted the crowd down with some of the plays they're making. They've got a nice lead right here, and they're making it hard for this quarterback to go to work.
And after the incompletion on first down, this offense looking at 2nd down. The snap sets up the throw. And the quarterback is snowed under. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page.
You got to be impressed with this defense early in this game, guys. They've got a big lead because they are getting after the quarterback. They've already generated multiple sacks. They thought coming into this game they could take advantage of this offensive line, and that game plan is working to perfection.
Ball's at the 27. This offense facing a 3rd and long. Throws to the tight end. On target over the middle. A huge play, and they get it all the way to the 45-yard line. Finally, this offense starting to show a little juice. They've got a 1st and 10. Looking to move it through the air. Pocket starts, and the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. They recover their own fumble. Somehow, who knows how they got that thing back. These guys are bringing serious heat. They are like sharks. Lost one deep down the right side. And it's incomplete after taking a shot on 2nd down. They're staring at 3rd.
That's an example of the offensive coordinator trying to be aggressive and trying to take a shot. Now, the offense isn't able to click on that play, but moving ahead in the second half, it's important they continue to dial up these big plays. You want to stay aggressive, and you want to keep testing this set.
Lofted toward the sideline, intercepted! And they get the takeaway and prevent points from going up just before the end of the half.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
Running out of time here in the first half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. He's looking to throw it. Grabbed over the middle. It's Davis. Off he goes. Touchdown, Mountaineers. And once he got away from the D, they had no shot at catching it.
And I love this offense, man. Staying aggressive. Just because you got the lead, you know people can score points in bunches. This offense keeps the foot on the accelerator, scores again on the final play. Now this offense has even more of a cushion going into halftime.
And he did make that extra point, no issue with the treacherous footing. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Thanks, guys. Looks like we've got a terrific atmosphere there in Tempe. And the story of the half has been that elite corner. We were told he was tough to throw against. He's basically taken away an entire side of the field when he's out there, causing turnovers and getting physical. how often do we say that about lockdown guys? And how this offense schemes against him in this second half will be fun to watch. And with that, let's send it back to Frank Kush Field inside Mountain America Stadium.
Arizona State has the ball back in the offense, making its way onto the field. Nothing went right in that first half in the first order of business here. Try not to be embarrassed any further.
But the comeback is possible. Remember 2006, Michigan State down 35 to Northwestern at halftime? They somehow came back and won the game. But it all starts on one play, and that has to happen here on this first drive for the offense.
Yeah, the first possession, because your possessions, you're only going to get so many possessions, and you got to score on every single one of them. Offense, defense, special teams.
Gonna take a shot. And that's going to be incomplete. Going for broke on second down, but third down's coming up. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. On third and long, try to convert through the air. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down.
You can sense the frustration building on the field and on the sideline for this team because on paper, they're the better team. From a player standpoint, from a record standpoint, things just not going their way in this game, and someone's going to have to step up and make a play to turn this thing around.
Well, this head coach is clearly sending a message, going for it this close to his own end zone. On fourth down, trying to find his man. And the incomplete pass, they rolled. Well, some might think this head coach has a tough locker room speech after this one. I would suggest that he starts with, "That's just bad."
Bad, or as Reese Davis would say, ungood. Just very ungood performance. Flush this one down the toilet, move on. It's not your best day. You lost in ugly fashion, to be honest, but better days ahead.
Now, I think a lot of this has to come on the shoulders of the players. They need to be able to realize they just didn't do enough. So they've got to turn the page. They've got to go back to work, have a great week of practice, and put out a better effort next week.
That's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, our entire broadcast team, I'm Reese Davis. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.